host Q, Smitty, and Matt.
Hey, it's Thursday night, notebook wagering time. We are back. The boys are back in town. We took a week off. Just recharge the batteries a little bit. I'm Smitty, live from the Salisbury Center, powered by Monster Energy. I got my guy up in Pittsburgh, the man, the myth, the legend, Nails. What's happening, my friend?
Smitty, we weren't recharging. We were just strategerying for the big game. We got a lot to talk about. I mean, it's a nice week off to kind of recharge, but I'm sure during that whole recharging period, we've been doing some homework.
So much homework.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a tough game.
Nah, I agree with you there.
I hope you come and you can correct me and get me some winners. All right.
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say, we'll find out, but I am not changing my stance from the last show. So everything I just keep looking at, researching, I can't even talk myself off my own ledge. So I'm going to stick to it. I'm going down with the ship.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get some live bets tonight, man. Anything live, because this show, again, is about winning money. And I like winning money. Let's get some winners tonight. Maddie, you had a good one last night. Why don't you give the audience, what'd you have? The over in the Drake game. That game went way over. That went way over.
Well, double overtime always helps, I think.
Well, who cares? Winner.
Yeah. But I think they had it even without the OOTs. So, no, that was a nice rocking chair. I have two later games tonight we can touch on in a second. I just do want to touch base, though. The golf. Man, I'm going to get screwed in the golf this weekend because of the weather. I had one guy tee off today, which means my other 5 plays have to squeeze in 36 holes in like 36 hours. That's not going to be good. So I'm going to be happy if I get somebody. I'm going to be happy if I get 3 out of 6 to the cut because I think they're just going to get screwed.
Okay, so what? I'm in this too. I jumped on this. I had the Gala top 20, my best bet. I think he's winning the tournament right now. Good start there. What was the conditions out there? I did see it was suspended. Just insane rain, or
just rain and a mess. Rain and a mess. Just ugly. I guess it was ugly out there yesterday too. So, I mean, they're gonna keep going because it's the biggest party in golf, and although some guys dropped out too, some big names dropped out. So I don't know how they're gonna do it. I didn't get to watch any of it today. I've been so busy with work. I didn't get to tune in and see what was going on. So it's just gonna be rough for my guys. And that's no good out of the gate. So
yeah, I had Adam Scott, which I don't think he teed off.
He did late.
Oh, he did. Okay.
He got through 3 holes. He's even.
Okay. So,
but I mean, my 2 big bets: JT Poston +1 after 2, rough start because they're going to try to squeeze it in. But Sam Burns did get off to a good start. He's -1 after 2. So I guess I have time. I just feel bad because these guys got to get up early tomorrow, and then they're going to have to try to squeeze in, but I don't know, holes maybe potentially later in the afternoon tomorrow or first thing Saturday. It's crazy. They're just going to be grinding away, and that's never good. So,
all right, let's talk a little basketball action here tonight, and we'll get into some stuff here. Do you have any plays tonight? Listen, best bet, I'm going to give it out. Gave it out on, Sharp Angle kind of just retweeted my stuff. Busy, but I've been on fire there. Sharp Angle Syndicate. Western Illinois, 8 p.m. Jump in. It's 7:37 on my clock right here in studio. -130. They play Arkansas at Little Rock. I like Western Illinois to get the big win tonight. That's best bet. Maddie, I'll jump to you. Then I got a couple other ones.
Are they the Rough Riders? Is Western Illinois the Rough Riders?
I think leather. Like isn't it leather something?
Leathernecks. It's something different. I know that. That's an interesting one.
I think it's Leathernecks.
Yeah, I have 2 late plays. I have UC Davis at home against Cal State Fullerton. Laid 6 there, -6 on UC Davis. And then I did an over on Portland State, Weber State game going off at 9. I have the over 145. This is my 2 plays. Just late because I just worked too much to be grinding away in these early games. So I got to let that up to you guys.
All right, I got Western Illinois minus 130 like I just gave out. Austin P, let's go against Kennesaw State tonight, plus 1.5, minus 110. I gave that out on social media. And Utah Valley, I'm going to do the money line, laying the juice. Sometimes I don't care about laying the juice. Minus 160. I like laying the juice in that. Here's the thing. So Josh Applebaum wrote, I want to give 2 things out here. We might dive into college basketball at the very end. But the WAC conference, home favorites are hitting at 75%. 75%. So now last night, I had a loser. One of my plays was a loser. It was IPFW, Indiana, Fort Wayne, I think, something like that. It's crazy. They're a good team. They just beat Youngstown State on Sunday. I gave that on Sharp Angles Syndicate as a straight winner. They were plus 5 on Sunday. That Horizon, Josh Applebaum said 80% in the Horizon. Now, home favorites are winning, but they did lose last night. So I got some good basketball stuff. I want to go on a little rant about some of these schools that come back and they hire these coaches that played there. Chris Mullen, Patrick Ewing, Juwan Howard, Penny Hardaway. Now, I'm playing Temple tonight in an early one. Memphis is off to a good start, but I don't like where that Memphis team's going. So we'll dive into that here in a little bit.
Oh,
so,
real quick, why do you not like where Memphis is going? I like where Memphis is going.
Memphis lost 4 straight
It's
going
okay.
into Sunday. Yeah,
It's a little rough.
4
It's a
straight.
little rough patch.
And they were favored by 10 against Wichita, and they won by 2, and they were losing the entire game. They're not very good. They might blow out Temple. I played the plus 9.5 tonight. I gave it out, but they're not a good team, Matt. He's not a good coach. So don't trust
I'm not
Memphis.
arguing that at all. I've never been a fan of him as a coach, but I mean, they're still 16-6.
Yeah, I don't trust that team.
I don't either, but that's a tough conference. They're gonna get. Looking at it, I mean, FAU definitely tournament in, and then after that, I guess Memphis is second.
I'll tell you what, a
Florida.
game that about made my card tonight, Matty, was UAB plus the points against that team. That team is not the same team as last year. I've taken teams against them, and I've won a couple times this year. That team is not the same team, that Florida Atlantic team.
They've won 7 in a row, buddy.
That's okay. They're not covering. Great teams cover.
Well, I just have a ticket on them to make the Final Four, so I'm okay with them.
You're
not
okay.
covering.
Yeah, I think they'll get in the tournament and stuff. I don't think the same team. So, hey, we're going to go real quick here. Big game coming up. What is it? Super Bowl 58, I believe. Oh, my goodness. Hey, let's just recap really quick here. And again, if you joined us, get in the chat with us. We always appreciate that very much. Matty, you got San Francisco playing Kansas City in the big game. We're going to break down Kansas City's 14-6, San Francisco 14-5. Let's break down really fast, though, overall thoughts. I know it seems like it's been back a little bit, but let's just go right to the Kansas City game, Baltimore, man. I'm down in the Northern Virginia area, and you have a lot of Baltimore people here. Overall thoughts of what went wrong for the Ravens, because that was home field. You got probably the MVP, and it just was not happening for them in a really bad performance. And I got a couple thoughts on it, but I want to hear yours first. What happened to Baltimore?
Super unpopular opinion that they should not have the MVP. They should have the MVP for how he kind of carried them, but he was not the most valuable player. Their defense was the most valuable player. His numbers were average. So I think what happened is their offense never changed under Todd Monken compared to when it was Greg Roman. It's still the same. They ran the ball as much with Monken as they did with Roman, and then all of a sudden, let's do this crazy, let's zig when everybody's zagging, etc. And, let's have 3 running back carries, 6 carries for the game, and completely get obliterated by the Chiefs. Defense came out completely flat. I think it was 2 opening drives. Then they really buckled down in the second half. But, when you abandon the run, Kansas City's strength is actually their corners. And then without a big-time threat wide receiver. I know Zay Flowers is good. He's not there yet. He's got a lot of potential. And then he made 2 boneheaded mistakes, which cost him the game. So, I mean, why get away from running the ball as much as you do? Play field position, punt. You have the best field goal kicker in the league. Take some points long. They did everything wrong. I actually think it should probably fall on Harbaugh over anybody, but Lamar did not play well either. So that was a huge, I don't want to say a fail, but that's one of the bigger letdowns going to a conference game ever, because everybody was on them. Look how good they are. They're steamrolling everybody. And then all of a sudden they got punched in the mouth and they didn't know what to do. I said it looked like the Russian coach in Miracle.
Yeah, he did. That was great. That was a good one.
Yeah, he didn't know what to do. So Harbaugh is better than that, and I was shocked at how bad they actually looked.
Get in the chat. It's a good one. Lamar Prescott was the QB. Oh, Ken, you crack me up, buddy. Your stuff. McCarthy being the store man and the grocery store manager. You crack me up, man. I'm glad you're always here in the chat. You make me laugh. I love it. Yeah, I agree with you. What were they doing? Run the ball. That was your team. Stay in your system. Nope. Let's throw the ball a bunch, which he struggles at times. Hey, Mike, where have you two been? Well, we took a week off, man. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. We just had to not recharge. I'm going to rephrase that. We didn't recharge. We just kind of had to get the brain ready for the big game here and give you guys some good stats and try to do it here. But yeah, I was really shocked there, Matty. It was a team that just didn't look prepared, and too many penalties, man. They were trying to play that tough guy, and I get it. Baltimore is a tough team. I mean, they're a tough team, but yeah, that craziness at the beginning of the game with the kicker down there, and then Kelsey's throwing stuff, and then it just seemed like they had so many personal fouls. Just get in the game. Quit trying to be tough. Flowers had a tough game. Now, did you see it, Matt? Tonight, I saw that he's being investigated for domestic abuse.
Who?
Flowers.
No, I missed that.
I saw that on social. I mean, again, you can never. I'm not saying he did anything. I'm just saying I saw that on a couple sites tonight that they are investigating something, and somebody even said, "Man, this guy's had a couple of tough weeks right now." So hopefully it's not true. Hopefully he gets his head on straight. Yeah, just tough spot for him. So, okay, let's go really, really quick here. San Francisco Detroit game, Matt. That was a wild one, man. And our good friend Ken, a big Detroit Lions guy, and things looked fantastic. And I was on 49ers, and then I kept live betting. I had like 5 live bets on San Francisco because I just thought, hey, man, this can't happen. But they were getting bullied at the line. They've been bullied the last 2 games. Green Bay, Detroit. What happened? We're going to get in real quick. Campbell, do you kick field goals? I want to hear your opinion because you have some people that, they yell at people like me. Take the points. But overall, give me your quick thoughts on the Lions game with San Francisco.
It was disappointing. There's no way you lose that game. Dan Campbell didn't learn his lesson. You can reiterate and stress all year that was his MO, to go for it on 4th down and continue to go for it and go for it again and bite kneecaps and keep scrapping. You are up 17 points. You have to keep that 17-point lead. You got away from what you did. You didn't learn a lesson. And then all of a sudden, it was the snowball effect. You don't convert. They come down, they kick a field goal. Next thing you know, you fumble. Then they score quickly. It's brand new game, and now you're in panic mode. And then you continue to go for it, and now you're trailing. And it was like, bro, kick the ball. I know they're like, everybody's like, oh, our field goal kicker is not that good over 40 yards. He was, I think, 5 for 5 on the year. Yeah, he's new. Sure, it's outside. You're professionals. That's his job. Let him do his job. Try it. Now, if he misses one, okay, maybe don't kick it the next time. Then maybe go for it. But you have to keep your foot on the throttle, and you didn't. And you took away from your team. I like that he owned up to it, but there's no way you should blow that game. I feel horrible for Detroit fans, because legitimately they should be in the Super Bowl. It's hard enough for that franchise to get into the playoffs. Now you actually had the chance, winning by 17, to go to the Super Bowl, and you choked it away. And I hate to break it to you, but there's usually not the repeat people in the playoffs next year. Green Bay's up and coming. Minnesota's going to be tough next year as long as they can get Cousins back. And then Chicago is up and coming as well. So that division is going to be no cakewalk. That could actually be the best division in football next year.
No, I think well said there. I think when you're there, you got to win. Because you don't know when you're going to be there again.
If I was a Detroit fan, I'd still be sad. I know people are like, man, what a great year. I was like, yeah, really great year. And your great year should be continuing right now. Now you're going to have to sweat next year. Now they have a great foundation. They have great coaches. I'm surprised that Ben Johnson's coming back. They didn't lose the DC, Aaron Glenn. So they're still there, but it is so hard to repeat and get back. They weren't bitten by injuries this year. So next year is a whole different ball game. I hope they can get back, and I hope they play well next year, because I actually do like that organization.
Yeah, I like the two running backs. I think the quarterback gets a lot of outside going, he's not that. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's not a bad quarterback. No. And it's hard. It's hard to be there again. I was just talking to old man in the garage. He asked me about the Michigan program, and I'm like, oh, I mean, Harbaugh's gone. A lot of coaches gone. He's like, going to be okay? I'm like, I don't know. Hopefully. But I did say we got to see a national championship.
Yep.
So if it's struggles for a little bit, hey, we still got a national championship. That's all that matters. But you got to get there. And I always say this with the NFL. If you can get in the Super Bowl, hey, it's the two best teams. You can say there was a fluke, whatever. I don't care. It's the two best teams then. You could have said Baltimore was the better team. Well, they didn't. They weren't the better team. So somebody has to win, somebody has to lose, but you got to get there. That's why I'm always critical about the Steelers, because they barely get in and then they lose in the first round, and it's like, all right. Like, if you can go to that you got to get in that championship game, and you got to win. I think that's what you just said there with Detroit. They had to win the game there, and they didn't win the game, and they should have won the game. Take the points. And all these people on all these other sites, like some of these shows, and they're like, oh, come on, you don't kick. This is not. Guess what? You take the points. When you can go up 17 points, you take the points. Does the guy make it? Maybe. Does he miss it? Maybe. Guess what? Who cares? You didn't see it happen, so whatever. Take the points. That puts pressure on the other team. And I get it, they got a first down. It puts pressure. But it doesn't matter. You take the points when it's at that spot. So stop complaining and talking about always going for it. And that's the thing about Campbell. He sometimes gets a little too fired up, and he wants to do too much. Slow down, get the points, move on. All right, I'm done with my rant there about Dan Campbell and these idiots that always, I just get fired up about these shows, Matt. They go, oh, they can't go for it, and these people that just kick a field goal, and he might miss. Yeah, guess what? He might throw a pass, and he throws an incomplete. He did that. Yep. Didn't happen. It's the same thing. So you can have the same argument, but I'd rather take a chance and get the points, get it up to 17, and move on. So, all right, man. How we doing with time, man? Are we going to take a break?
Yeah, let's run some commercials. We'll be right back.
Okay, we'll be right back.
The sum above difference is giant. Giant hearts, giant differences, and giant wins. On Jersey Mike's annual day of giving, 100% of sales go to a great cause in your community. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
At Hooters, you can watch the tournament with your buddies. All your buddies. Like the ones with ice-cold beer. And one-of-a-kind wings that are nothing but net. Buddies you won't have to fight for the remote. Buddies who know a thing or two about basketball. And the fans who live for it.
Where else are you gonna get all this?
Hooters, your official hangout for game day.
All right, everybody, elevate your outdoor living with Cherokee Decks. From design to build, their team in the Northern Virginia crafts stunning, durable decks. Discover more at CherokeeDecks.com and get ready to impress. Back to the action on Notebook Wagering shortly.
Now back to putting money in your pocket with the Notebook Wagering Show on WSN.
Hey, the guys are back here. Now let's dive into the game. We're going to try to give you as many player props. I know this guy up in Pittsburgh's firing on these, man. He's ready to go. I got a couple, and I'm going to say, now Matty has said he's locked in. I have one play so far. I got some player prop ideas, and I'm just back and forth. I want this used car salesman up in the Pittsburgh area to convince me what to do here. So let's dive in this game. Like I said, San Francisco's 14-5, Kansas City's 14-6, 9-10 to the spread. Kansas City's 12-7-1. The over/under 10-8-1 for San Francisco, 6-14. This Kansas City team, we're going to dive into some numbers here, man. They like to go slow. Matt, their drives in Baltimore, man, that was like 8-9 minute drives in that game. They really slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, get ready for that coming up too.
Okay, I like
that.
that.
Here's how I'm leaning here.
Okay,
so I have 11 bets already in, and I'm not.
This is why this guy's on Notebook Wagering. I love this guy.
And I'm going to keep, like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm going to stay on my rock cliff, and it's Chiefs money line at plus money. I also will bet the Chiefs if they gets up to +3. Now, it did get to 2.5. It's back down to 2. I haven't bet an under yet or an over yet. I like the under. I would lean under 47.5, but I haven't touched it yet. Might go up. There's lots of rumors going around with the field conditions. We know the 49ers are pissed about their practice conditions. I can't wait for the real story about this mystery coyote bite and who got bit. That, to me, is one of the most intriguing things.
And why don't we have a name yet on that?
I know. Please. And then Joe Buck insists that there's going to be some kind of big hoopla. Something's going to go down. And I am on a text string with a bunch of guys. We're taking bets, like side bets, just fun bets of what's going to happen, who it's going to be, et cetera, this and that. So we got a lot of time. It's Thursday night there. It's going to crank up Friday night, Saturday night. There might be some guys going out to the clubs. You never know. They got their wives, their girlfriends. I saw guys out with Jason Kelsey and all these guys playing big time cards and big time money. So,
okay. So can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So you made a great point there. And the guys on Follow the Money on VSiN, Mitch went crazy, which I thought was fantastic. You said about, the coyote's fantastic. If no one knows that story, so supposedly a former NFL player got bit by a coyote a couple of days out there. Still no name, so we're going to try to dive in and figure that out. But Buck and I think Boomer Esiason too was on a show and just was like, you can't have guys in Vegas and you can't do this. And Mitch today, man, Mitch doesn't get too fired up on that show, man. He's pretty smooth character. And he was like, let's break down the Super Bowls here. I think one of his Boomer's guys back in the day was like doing coke the night before. Then you had the Raiders center. I can't remember his name. He went missing. He was drinking in Tijuana and they just didn't even play in the game. Had bipolar. I'm not trying to make fun of anything like that, but he disappeared. You had the Ray Lewis situation that when he was in the Super Bowl, he was hanging out with people. And then there was, again, a situation that wasn't good. Somebody got murdered. I'm not saying Ray Lewis was there at all. I'm not trying to say that. Then you had the guy from the Falcons that they said was like man of the year, married guy, kids, big church going guy. He got night before, sting operation, called for lady of the night. Let's just say it like that. And it was a sting operation. He got arrested. So trouble's always there. Let's these guys slow down a little bit because Vegas is trouble. Yeah, can you get in trouble in Vegas? Yeah, probably. Matt goes there a lot. I've been to Vegas a couple times. There's trouble there, but there's trouble always around the corner. So, Matt, add on to that, my friend.
Yeah, I think that was Ray Buchanan in the Super Bowl, but I'm not sure.
I think it was Robinson. It was like or wasn't it like a Robinson? I think for with the stain operation. That was the one. I think Gary Anderson from Minnesota missed the field goal. That's going way back.
So yeah, Vegas. I mean, Vegas is a different. They're gonna bring in, like you said, the ladies of the night. They're gonna bring in the best talent. They're gonna put on the best shows. They're gonna cater because they know these guys have money. I mean, suites are going for like $2 million. These guys want to see and they want to be seen. So something's yet to happen. Who knows? That's another reason though why I like the Chiefs in this instant. They've been here 4 or 5 years. They actually have a routine. These guys, I know Kelsey likes to party and whatnot, but he's going to keep these guys in line and be like, look, you don't party now. You party after we win this thing. And then when we win this thing, then go ahead, go crazy, but not beforehand. They have a routine. They have it down. They know when to practice, when the sessions are going on. Andy Reid is probably a professional at this. I love his defensive coordinator, Spagnuolo, and his game plan, I think, matches up really well. I just think the Niners, I don't want to say we're exposed, but they should have lost to Green Bay. They should have lost to Detroit. And the recipe is run the ball, and I think Pacheco's going to be able to run the ball. I don't think they need the wide receivers. I think San Francisco will double Kelsey, but I think Pacheco's good enough and Rice is good enough to get it done. I'm gonna start like rolling into some bets. Here's a couple that I like that cater towards it. So I like Kansas City money line. I actually like the coin toss to be tails at even money. I actually like the Niners to win the coin toss and then defer so they get the ball in the second half. So I think Kansas City's going to get the ball, go down and score. That'd be my first pick. First touchdown is Kansas City. That's another bet. And then from there, if you can kind of find a parlay, you can roll all those into a massive fun parlay. I mean, heck, you could be done by the coin toss. But I like Kansas City to score first, Kelsey to have the first touchdown, and then there's a jersey number to score the first touchdown over 22.5. That would make Kelsey eligible, Kittle eligible, McCaffrey eligible, and others eligible. And I think you're going to have this. This is where the stars are supposed to shine. So those four together could be a huge payout. That's just basically within the first 5 minutes of the game.
All right, I'm going to go some trends here. I wrote down some trends. So we're just trying to get you as much information as possible here. And you do what you want to do here. Again, I have one play so far, and it was a teaser. I'll give that out in here in a little bit, but just some trends here. Dogs, 16-6 ATS, last 22 in the Super Bowl, 72%. 12-4 last 16 games ATS with the Dogs. AFC teams are 7-3 ATS the last 10 in this. Better records, okay, that's San Francisco. They're 1-15 ATS skid in the Super Bowl. Now let's go coaches here. Andy Reid, pretty good. 8-1-1 ATS versus San Francisco. 3-0-1 ATS with the Chiefs. Shanahan has good numbers too as a favorite though. 4-2 ATS. 6-0 straight up. But here's the thing with San Francisco, and I wrote down, I don't know, I got so many cards up here with notes. They weren't covering games late in the season. They were winning games, but they only covered 2 late in the season. One was against the Commanders. One was against Arizona, I believe, off the top of my head. Well, that's not very quality teams. And Matt, I want to bounce back. I said earlier, and I want to get your opinion on this. They got bullied, man. They were really getting bullied at the line. Green Bay was really taking it to them. Detroit was really pounding the ball to them. And there was some and here's the whole thing with that. There was some fluke stuff in that. And I'm glad, because I had a lot of live bets, and I'm glad I won money. But the long throw bounced off a face mask, the guy dies and catches the ball. Yeah. Purdy made some great runs in that game. Pocket broke down, he scrambled and got some first downs on that. But this team has not been right since the Christmas Eve game against Baltimore. They really haven't. Now, the only thing that scares me in this is I just thought the line would have been. I mean, it's on my book. It's 2. I've seen 1.5. It was 2.5 the other day. A lot of big bets. I mean, big giant bets are coming on money line San Francisco. I think that a lot of people are doing bets on Kansas City, but the big giant bets are riding on San Francisco in this game. That scares me a little bit. I have not done anything, but I'm going to piggyback off Matt, then I'll let him go here with some thoughts here, and I'll try to chime in with some more stuff here. But who's the better quarterback? Matt, let's do rapid fire really fast. Better quarterback. Go.
Mahomes.
Okay, I agree. Better coach. Matt, go.
Andy Reid.
I agree. Better defense. Matt, go.
Kansas City.
Again, let's throw the hat. It's a hat trick. Same.
So you brought up those 3 talking points. I want to hit on the defense. The Niners can't stop the run right now. Don't know why. And their defensive line grades out better than the Chiefs, which is crazy because Chris Jones is by far the best player on the defensive lines. Nick Bosa is good, but I don't know, kind of one-dimensional. The other 2, Hargrave, good player. Armstead, good player. A guy to watch in this game is, you know who leads the playoffs in sacks right now? George Karlaftis of the Chiefs. And I think he's going to get it. I think he's going to get another one this game. That's a bet that I haven't made yet, and I'm probably going to talk myself into making it. And I'm even going to see if there's one where he gets 2 sacks or over a sack and a half, because I think that's very achievable depending on where they line him up, especially if Jones is going to draw double teams inside. That gives him one-on-one. And Purdy likes to move around, and he's actually really good in the pocket, and he's really good at scrambling. He's highly underrated there. But I think Karlaftis can get home. Their corners, Snead and McDuffie. McDuffie's all-pro this year. Really good. So that means Debo and Ayuk are going to have to win one-on-one. I'm not sure Kittle's going to get out into as many routes as people would like because he's such a good blocker. I think he's going to have to stay in more. The Chiefs should get Willie Gay back at linebacker, which will help. I think the odds makers have this wrong. I really
Sky
think
Moore back too.
Man.
He got activated. Well,
yeah. Well, that's good. Maybe they'll get rid of Kadarius Toney. So
is Tony coming back? Remember that group? Tony.
God.
Yeah.
Maybe Sky Moore can return some punts. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, extra bodies don't hurt.
Hey, Mike, I want to something in the chat because I love reading the chat stuff. Ken's always unbelievable. Mike, again, thank you so much for being here. Back to that werewolf thing. He goes, is someone going to a little teen wolf? Is that what you're talking about? A little Michael J. Fox there? I love it so much. That great movie. The big guy underneath on that Michael J. Fox.
Oh, yeah.
Team.
Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, fantastic. Good stuff there, Mike. Keep firing them in the chat. I love it here. Yeah, and here's the thing, and I don't want to talk too much about this, but we keep saying over the last couple of weeks, Matt, we said the Taylor Swift kind of influence here. And I think we said, like, who do you want to watch? Who did, not us, I guess, but like Harbaugh with Baltimore or Kansas City, and then you have Taylor Swift. And you're going to have so many people here that don't really even know anything about football tuning in because they just want to get a glimpse of her. And that's her fans. And good for them. I'm not trying to bash them or anything like that. She's not my top choice at all. I'll say that. But again, I'm not trying to bash anybody here. Is she going to get there? I don't know. She's over in, I think, Japan or something doing concerts right now. So that's the big thing. Do you think, I told old man this the other day, Kansas City wins. He proposes to her on the field after the game. They get it on TV. It breaks TV. Don't you think?
Yeah, but frankly, I don't give a
rat's I know. And I don't either. I'm just trying to make conversation here a little bit.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's rumors swirling that the NFL is basically, now Taylor Swift, by all means, does not need anyone's money. But there's rumors swirling that the NFL is paying for her plane and her suite and everything because supposedly she wanted her own suite at the game, and she's got a concert in Japan. So for her to make all this work, she's basically, I don't know if it's blackmail, but saying, hey, you want my face there? You're paying for it. It's nuts. I mean, people are gonna tune in. There's rumors. Hey, what if she jumps out into the halftime show? This could go anywhere. So who knows? I can't talk about that. I just want to talk about the football aspect because that nauseates me.
I'm sorry I brought it up. That was
No, it's all good.
I touched anything. John, our great producer here, man. John, chime in really quick. Do you have any thoughts on the Taylor Swift Super Bowl thing? Can't hear you, John.
I could totally see the NFL ponying up some money to get her there. I mean, looking at some of the crazy things that venues would do to get certain artists, I can totally see them having a jet, idled up on the runway, ready to take her to her suite and do anything that she can to get more, or anything they can do to get more eyeballs on the game, even more so than it already is. So I can go down the tinfoil hat conspiracy thing here.
I love it. The tinfoil hat. Love it. Hey, John is doing fantastic stuff here, man. Great producer. Thank you so much again for being here with us at Notebook Wagering. Doing a great job behind the glass. All right, Maddie, before we take another break here really quick, we're going to do 2 breaks tonight, and then we're going to chime in, and we got some more stuff. Let's do some player props really quick. You already said one, man. Pachenko, the running back, go for it. Just give me some stuff. I got some numbers on that. I love that play. Go.
All right, I love Rashee Rice this game.
You're switching on me. You're going to not go Pachenko? Okay, go Rice.
Oh, he's in there too.
Okay, fire.
I'm just going down my list in order. So I love Rashee Rice and Pacheco. So Pacheco, I'll start over his rushing yards, 66.5. That was minus 109, locked in. Rashee Rice, I bet immediately. Over 6.5 catches. I think he's hit it on 2 of the 3 games they've played in the playoffs and been close on the other. I actually like Debo to go over his receiving yards, not rushing yards. Just his receiving yards, 56.5. And then I took a flyer. These are 2 flyers. If Rice catches, 8 balls for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that's all the touchdowns Kansas City gets, could he potentially be MVP if they win the game, 20-17? Potentially. I mean, it could be like a Deion Branch type play. So I put money on him plus 4,000 to win MVP. And then here's a crazy one. So Debo, when they run their jet sweeps and everything, notorious for actually throwing a pass. You can try to find a Debo prop. Debo to throw a touchdown. I haven't found it yet. It's got to be out there somewhere. So if anybody sees it, let me know, or let me know where you find it, and we can probably get something on that. But I like that. I think San Francisco is going to have to pull out all the trick plays. I'll tell you one I don't like. I don't like McCaffrey's over rushing yards, which I believe is 90. Okay. I think they're gonna crack down. I think you have to make Mr. Irrelevant beat you this game, not Christian McCaffrey.
All right, so I'm going to jump really quick. Chango, the running back, over 60. I wrote down on and this was Sunday, I think Sunday to Monday. So these might have changed. Over 67.5 yards rushing. How about his carries? Over 16.5 on DraftKings on Sunday. I believe it was minus 125. If you look at his last 8 games, 5 games he's had 18. 2 games he's had 15, and 1 game he's had 11. I think he's going to get the ball a little bit. I think he's going to carry. I like the over carries, and I like over yards for him. I haven't played it yet.
That's going to be a sweat. That's going to be the one where you're
that.
sitting at 14 going into the fourth quarter, and how many carries does he get? Depending,
it
on
might not be the nachos that are making me sweat. It might be the carries. Okay. Yeah. All right. Hey, let's look at Purdy here. This team, Matt said this earlier on the show. Their pass defense is so good. That's why I didn't understand what Baltimore was doing, why they were throwing so much. Run the ball against this team a little bit. So maybe Purdy over. But if, they get down, he might go over. But I like the under with Purdy passing 244.5. I had that. How about Mitchell for Matt? I want to throw this one out. I didn't write down his first name, but Mitchell for San Francisco with his carries 1.5. This was Sunday again. Elijah
Mitchell, the backup.
Okay, so he had, now again, against the Commanders, he had 17, but McCaffrey was out in that one. Rams, I have down for 14. Then I think McCaffrey was not in that game too. Maybe McCaffrey just was in that game. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that was when he hurt his calf.
Okay, so 0 against Green Bay in the first playoff game, but he had 4 against the Lions. I think
that's because McCaffrey got dinged. His helmet smashed the ground. I think he actually requested for a breather, and then they may have thrown him in the blue tent to get checked out real quick.
Okay, but let's take a chance on that again. If that stays there, carries 1.5. Give me 2 carries for Mitchell. I like that one, man. If something happens to McCaffrey, an old man, I'm going to throw this out right now. He said, I'm going to give his so I don't forget. He likes Kansas City to win the game, and he said, and again, he's not proud of this comment. He's like, I think there's going to be an injury to a major player on one of these teams, and it's going to just flip this game completely. You saw that Beckham. What was that with the Rams in the Super Bowl? I mean, I don't know if it flipped the game major, but I mean, he had a major injury. We don't want any injury on any of these guys, but that's was his prediction. So I'm going to keep an eye on that Mitchell one. I mean, McCaffrey gets dinged a little bit. He goes in the tent. They give him a break. He gets a couple carries. 1.5. I like that one, but I'm gonna throw him out. This is one, Matt, and then we're gonna take a break here. We've done well. Myself and you have done really well over the Super Bowl the last couple of years, and we're usually on the same thing. No, last year we weren't. I don't think we were on the same.
I got screwed by the referees last year.
Okay, yeah, I don't know about that, but but some of the player props we've been. I know we were on Tampa with Brady the one year. We really did a nice job on that one, but I think this one is one for people. If you don't know, maybe live bet this. Are you a big live better, Matt?
Sadly, no, because you can really dig yourself in a hole. And when I do like to do a live bet, it's more so on somebody who I'm super confident that I had originally picked to win, getting behind, and now catching big points. So say you're a Niners backer and you're originally laying 2 and they get down by 14-0. They might bump that line to the Niners catching 16 now. It could really flip. And when you see that, you're like, well, how much am I willing to risk? Do I want to get it back? Do I just want to nickel and dime it? And then you are notorious for it. Like you said, you'll have 5 in-game bets to try to get it back. And sometimes it works, and sometimes you can get buried quick. So I try to stay off the live betting. I actually like the live bet basketball more than football.
Well, it did well for me. I mean, I live bet San Francisco against the Lions because I had them, and I'm like, I just think this team's going to win. Let's just keep going. And I had a couple low, and then I got up to like 8.5, 9, and I was like, okay, let's roll it. I mean, it's going to be one of those nights. I agree. I like live betting basketball too, Matt.
Yeah.
Live bets. Hey, one more little nugget here. The head ref I saw the other day, and I'm sorry I didn't write it down. Never try and steal anything from social media or anybody that puts in the hard work like some of these great guys do. Like, I love taking stuff. Joe Osborne does unbelievable stuff. John Ewing does unbelievable stuff. I get some of the stuff from them. Head ref. The head ref's doing the game. His 60% to the under. So just keep an eye on that. Let me throw mine out really quick, and I'm not trying to waste time here. We're going to do a quick break and come back and do a little college basketball and then do our top 3 for the week here. I did Kansas City. I jumped on this right away. Right when it came out, I jumped on it. I think I got 7.5 Kansas City in a teaser. And I did, I'm just trying to get it. I'm right there. Give me 1 second. Kansas City plus 7.5 and the under 53. That's my only play so far, which I'm going to have a lot of plays. I'm going to do player props, but this is one I'm leaning towards Matt. We did 3-0. Coach, quarterback, defense. It's tough to do. I like Kansas City. Let's take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to break down a little college basketball, and then we're going to do our top 3 favorite snacks or foods for the Super Bowl. John, take us.
At Hooters, you can watch the tournament with your buddies. all your buddies. Like the ones with ice-cold beer. And one-of-a-kind wings that are nothing but net. You know, buddies you won't have to fight for the remote. Buddies who know a thing or two about basketball. And the fans who live for it.
Where else are you gonna get all this?
Hooters, your official hangout for game day.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
They're setting up the flag now.
Houston, we have a problem. We can't do it. Who in the world is that?
They've got the flag up now.
If you can't, we can.
If you can't, we can. Michael and Son.
Friday, February 16th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship finally debuts in Manassas.
Going into round 8. Fight is on.
I can't do it.
Here we go.
Manila Gorilla is taking this fight.
Uh-oh. Someone's getting into the ring.
That's Mike Tyson. If you can't, we can.
If you can't, we can. Michael and Son.
Friday, February 16th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship finally debuts in Manassas with the BKFC Prospect Series, live from the Salisbury Center. Your hometown star, Stanislav Groshu, knuckles up with a knockout artist fiending for his next KO, Brandon the Shredder Shavers. Plus many more explosive bare knuckle fights. See it live and find out why Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is called the world's most exciting combat sport. Get tickets now at bkfc.com.
All right, MMA fans, mark your calendars. The next Cagezilla fight is on February 24th at the Great Salisbury Center in Manassas, Virginia. Experience the excitement live or via live stream. Tickets are available at cagezilla.com. Stay tuned, more notebook wagering after this exciting update.
Now back to putting money in your pocket with the Notebook Wagering Show on WSN.
All right, the boys are back. We're going to wrap up the show here. Last segment again. Hey, National Anthem Under by Ken. Yeah, that's what Ken. I think we said that a couple weeks ago. I think that's there's a lot of her doing that. Who is that? Reba, right, Matt?
Yeah, Reba don't mess around.
Yeah, she gets to it. She wants to get up to the suite. See Taylor Swift. So, hey, man, do that under. Hey, Gatorade, I forget what color. I was going to write that stat down for everybody. The color, I think orange was coming in the last couple. It was dropping in the odds there. So, orange and everything. So, I love Maddie throwing out the heads. Let's do the coin flip. Fantastic stuff. So, all right, man. Hey, we're gonna wrap. We're gonna do about like 3-4 minutes college basketball. A couple things here. I just want to bounce some things off Matt. And man, we're getting there, Matt. It's getting there, man. We're in February. We got March Madness right around the corner. The big tournament. We get the conferences are always. I love the little conferences.
I got a crazy. Well, not a crazy stat, just a crazy kind of little rant myself on the Big 12 this year.
Let's hear it.
So the Big 12 is juiced this year. They are looking to potentially get into the tournament for eight or 9 teams, maybe even more, depending on what Texas does. So the trend has been, I believe Kansas hasn't lost 4 Big 12 games in X number of years, and it's been a while. They already have 3, or they already have 4. I'm sorry. Everybody is just beating each other up. So these ranked teams go on the road, and it doesn't matter who they're playing. They're losing on the road. And I believe Kansas has 5 more games with teams in the top 25. A ton. Basically, everybody in the Big 12 has 3 games against ranked opponents coming down the stretch here. They're going to keep beating each other up. I don't know who's going to grab this conference title. It's going to be chaos down the stretch. Right now, Houston's got a half game over Baylor. So the The trend is look at when the higher ranked road team or the higher ranked team goes on the road, they've been losing. So maybe just grab the points with the home dog, and that's been the play so far.
Yeah, I just want to I wrote this down. Now, everybody, this was a couple nights ago. So these numbers have changed because some of these teams have played. But best ATS so far, coming in the other night, Minnesota 18-3. And they won they covered again against Michigan State. They beat Michigan State outright. So they're up to 19-3. South Carolina, we got to get our guy Brian Ralph on, man. He's a big South Carolina guy. That team is playing unbelievable. That team was supposed to be one of the worst teams.
Yep.
They're 17-5 against the ATS. And guess what? They're not just covering people. They're beating people. They're a good team. You got Monmouth 17-6, Iowa State 14-7-1, and Bama. Man, Bama didn't do me any favors last night, man. They got boat raced last night.
Yeah, they got trucked.
They got trucked. So, Matty, real quick, and I'm going to do the lowest too, and then we'll go into our top foods here. I did place 2 tickets so far on national championship. I took Tennessee. I didn't write down the odds. Sorry. But I did take Tennessee. I love this Tennessee team. You know, the thing with Tennessee over the last couple of years, everybody, was they could defend. They couldn't score. This team can score. They went into Rupp last Saturday against Kentucky, and, man, they threw like 80 or 90. I had Kentucky money line. I lost that one, too.
Well, you have a fan. You have a fan for Tennessee, Scott Van Pelt. That's his pick for national champ. He summed it up basically like you did. They can grind out a win in the 60s, but this team can actually run and gun and actually get to the 80s and win a couple shootouts, which in the past they could not do.
Yeah, I love that team. And I did a ticket on Kentucky, and I wasn't very impressed. Now, the thing is, Wagner, the point guard or one of the guards, his dad was a college player, pretty good player. He's been hurt, hasn't been playing. And Cal, man, I don't know. Cal as a coach anymore scares me. And I know there's a lot of people not happy with him, but they have a lot of talent. Could they go on a run? So right now I've done 2, and I want to add at least 3 more. You know, so I have Tennessee, I have Kentucky. The Cougars out of Houston's fantastic team. UConn is a machine right now. And I know it's tough, and they're the major favorite and everything like that. You know, Matt, are you high on Purdue?
I think they're better than last year, but that doesn't mean they're not going to stumble in the tournament and that Zach Edey's not going to have a dud of 12 points, 4 rebounds, get in foul trouble the whole game and rely on somebody else. And somebody's going to grind it out. If you gave me $100 and said you pick a team in the top 5 to win the national title, it's not going to be Purdue. I can't trust them. I don't think they have the killer instinct. I don't think Edey is that great. I know he's massive, but they're too reliant on him, and then there's one outside scorer. And if one of them stumbles, then they stumble. So they're not as I can't say they're not as deep as they have been, because they are. And I do think they're better than last year, but there's no chance that I'm going to put my money on them to win the national title. So I am not on that train. But for the same reasons, though, I can't jump on your Tennessee because they still scare me with scoring. Now, I know they can, but that doesn't mean they will. To be honest, I haven't made a bet on a national title winner yet because I don't like anybody. I've actually made 3, potentially 4, just to get to the final 4. I haven't picked a winner yet. I'll probably do that maybe when we get to the conference title games and then the conference championships, etc. But so I'll run through them real quick. I took a long shot on Florida Atlantic to get back to the final 4. I have a ticket on Iowa State, and then I have a ticket on Florida.
Oh,
beginning of the year. Yeah, they've stumbled. I think they can actually sneak into the tournament. I actually think potentially they might be one of the play-in games if they have a good stretch run here, but I don't like that. Then the other team,
Iowa State.
Yeah, the other team that I liked, and every time I go and do homework on them, I'm like, man, this team looks like sneaky under the radar. It's Wisconsin, and then all of a sudden they get truck. And I'm like, okay, this team's not that good. Then they come out and they win again. I'm like, what is going on with this team? So I can't trust anybody right now. I'm looking for somebody. I want to jump on a bandwagon before I get out to Vegas in March. So I can't knock your Tennessee pick in any way, shape, or form. I just wish I could trust them more.
All right, real quick. I gave best ATS. And again, this was a couple days ago. Some of these teams when I played, I think it was like Southeast Missouri State or something. They're 3-14-2. Detroit's brutal. They're 4-19-1. Missouri, man. What a train wreck that team is. They lost again last night. I don't know if they covered, but they were 5-17 coming in. Arkansas, just another. I mean, I'm not going to go into details what might be going on in that Arkansas team, but just read about it. That's like a soap opera down there. 6-16, and then Michigan 6-16, which they came and had a big win last night against your Wisconsin team. So here's my quick rant. Then we're going to do our top three and get out of here for everybody. But hey, quit hiring people that played at schools. Chris Mullen, great player back in the 80s, went back to St. John's, 59-73. 20-52 in the Big East. That was a train wreck. Let's just cross Chris Mullen out there. All right, Patrick Ewing. Oh, my goodness, my Georgetown. And they're still having a mess, man. Ed Cooley's yelling at fans saying how rich he is and everything. And he... I'm still trying. It's, why is all my team... Like, the Pirates trust the process. Georgetown trusts the process. Man, I'm thank God Michigan won the national championship. It's tough, man. Steelers trust the process. Patrick Ewing, 75-109, 26-68 in the Big East. But he did have an unbelievable weekend one time, Matt, and we're not talking about it. He just had drinks and hung out with the most beautiful girls on the planet. He won the Big East tournament, and he did go in and lose in the first round. It was a disaster after. Hey, Juwan Howard, I'm going to go after you. 79-48, 46-31 in the Big Ten, but 8-15 this year, 3-9 in the conference. They did get a big win last night, but man, that is drama always with Juwan Howard. And I don't think that's going to last too much longer. I think that team's bad. I think he took over some good guys, and it just has not bounced. Penny Hardaway. Now, I bounced Penny, and I took Temple, and guess what? Penny must have been listening to the show, John. He must have had an earpiece in the show because they're up by about 19, and my bet doesn't look very good. So good job, Penny Hardaway. Nope. I still don't like this team. I'm going to still come after you. I don't care. Temple. And guess what? I got a new one on my list, Matt. Aaron McKee's the coach. Guess where he played? Temple. He's a disaster.
Hey, don't sell Temple short yet. They are only down 11.
Only down 11. Okay, let's go.
A lot of time.
Aaron
13,
McKee,
13 plus. Yeah, you better not bash Aaron McKee.
I don't care about Aaron McKee. He stinks.
And then we gotta because you're trashing all these former players as coaches now. You do got to give one shout out though, and I'm shocked he's doing as well as he is. Hubert Davis has done a nice job. Now
I don't like him. I don't think he's a great coach.
I don't either. I didn't say I like him, but I'm going to give him some props. He's done a good job with that team this year.
Yeah, Clemson went in there and took care of business the other night, though.
They're going to be a tough outcome. March.
Yeah, they are. They got good talent. Really good talent. All right, everybody, let's do this really quick, rapid fire here. John, you going to get on this?
Yeah, I'll jump in, and I got Jeff's top three as well.
Oh, nice. And I got Old Man in the Garage, too, so I'm going to give that out, too. So, all right, everybody, top three this week. We've had a good time doing movies and TV and everything, man. Maddie came up with this one. Top favorite foods, snacks, whatever. Yeah. Just whatever you want to do, man.
Super Bowl party food, snacks, whatever you want.
Okay. And I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to have something, but more or less, it's whatever my wife puts out. That's John shaking his head.
Absolutely. 100%. Whatever she cooks.
I'm going to say this. Hopefully hey, honey, if you're listening here, maybe you can, if you get this, maybe kind of do this, or we can order out or do whatever. So, all right, here. Hey, John, let's go behind the glass here, and let's give Jeff yours, and I'll go with Old Man in the Garage. I know Ken gave me his. I'm going to try to get on social. Or Ken, put it back. Ken, if you're still with us, put it in the chat, man. Okay, go, John. Number three.
My top three. Number three
Number
would be,
three.
I've always wanted one of those like little stadiums made out of sandwiches, and you pick it apart piece by piece. There's just the fat guy in me. That's what I would love. Honey, if you're listening.
That's great. Man, sandwiches are so good. I love sandwiches.
So Jeff's number three is wings, extra hot. Jeff is a spicy everything.
All right. I mean, I'm not going to try to get too graphic here, but I mean, I got to watch. I used to like that too, but I don't want to be missing half the game or the next. I got to work the next day, and then you don't have problems. Okay, moving on. Okay, let's go. Old man in the garage here. Did Ken? Okay, I got Ken's here. Ken, I'm going to go. Old man in the garage. Sliders. Old man in the garage loves those sliders. Let's get that. Ken, buffalo chicken dip. Like it. Maddie, I'll go next. I'm going to do a little nachos, some type of nachos.
I knew they'd be in there.
My sister-in-law down in Florida does a fantastic job at nachos when we're down there. Out of the blue, she'll make some type of nachos, and it's fantastic. So I'm going to go nachos number 3. Maddie, what do you got?
I'm with Jeff. Wings. I don't need extra spicy. Just give me original buffalo, like medium to hot, whatever. Lots of ranch or blue cheese, whatever you want. Lots of celery and carrots. And I know this might be unpopular.
Get that
no
celery
breading.
out of here.
No.
I hate celery.
No.
I love celery, too.
Yeah.
Good job, Matt, on that. Celery and
you
carrots.
gotta have a little crunch in there, but no breading. If you bread the wings, I'm gonna throw them at you.
All right.
How do you feel about boneless, though?
Those aren't wings. Those are chicken nuggets.
Agreed.
Chicken nuggets. I agree with that too. My daughter loves those though. So
Yeah,
I mean, when I
all
say
kids
let's get,
do.
we just had those. Glory Days restaurant, great place here in Manassas. Here we got those. She gets those, but I love the celery. And what I found, it's so nice because they're all wrapped up, and you're like, oh, there's celery and there's carrots. John's making fun of me right now. Oh, I love this, man. I love the top 3. All right, here we go, John. Let's go. Let's fire away. Number 2.
Number 2 for me was pigs in a blanket.
Ooh.
I like that. Pigs in a blanket's nice. All right.
And Jeff's number 2 was loaded nachos.
All right. Old man in the garage, beef tips, and something else. I couldn't remember what it was, and I didn't write it down, but it's some type of beef stick or tips he likes. Listen, it's like I go to the pub up here in Manassas, and I love one of my favorite places to go watch game, do whatever, have great food. Steak tips, oh, fantastic. So beef tips, I like it. This was hard for and let's do Ken. Ken had wings number 2. And Ken, I'm gonna piggyback. Man, mine were close. I'm gonna go wings number 2 too. Ranch, no blue. I don't like that blue cheese, whatever that is. I don't like that. Get that away. Ranch, a lot of ranch. Throw some more stuff on, some different. I've been trying to bounce with some stuff. Because like I said, I used to love the real spicy, but man, when you get a little older, you got to change your lifestyle a little bit. So just give me that. Number 2. Matt, what do you have?
I got one beef real quick with anybody who says nachos, because I love nachos. But if you don't layer your nachos, all the stuff's on top, that's no good. Then you got bare chips at the bottom. You're just eating chips by the end of the night. You got to layer that up. Okay. Anyway, I went fancy for number 2. I like shrimp cocktail. Peel and eat shrimps all day with a great cocktail sauce. Sign me up. I'll crush 50 to 75 of them.
John, John cracks me up.
I'm sitting with my pinky finger up, acting like I'm dipping
Yep.
with each hand a shrimp cocktail over there.
That's right, John. You gotta class. You might need to class it up a little bit.
Look at this guy. That's why he's on the show. He classes it up. I love it so much. All right, let's go. Number 1 behind the glass. Let's fire away.
100% hands down a veggie platter, extra celery, get all that crunch. Hell no. No, my number 1 is chips and salsa. Chips, salsa, anything queso, guac, something to dip and just nibble on.
All right. Well.
And Jeff came in with a 10-layer dip, but also provided all 10 layers. Refined beans, chicken, salsa, sour cream, guacamole, chopped tomatoes, scallions, black olives, shredded cheddar, shredded Monterey Jack cheese. I think that's 10, but yeah, that's his number 1.
All right. We're going to go right here with Ken and Old Man have the same number 1. Ribs. I like ribs.
Ribs?
Like ribs.
That's some work there.
Yeah, you got to, and if you're out at a party too, you got to be careful. Because, I mean, you could be a mess.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm all for that.
You have a couple cocktails, you have a couple drinks, and then you're eating ribs and stuff, and then it's just dripping all over, and you're trying to maybe impress somebody. You might look like a mess. Okay, my number 1. Hey, let's go a little chicken quesadillas. I'm a big quesadilla guy. A little car quesadilla. I like the quesadillas, man. The pub. I'm going to promote the pub a little bit, man. They make great quesadillas here in Manassas, Virginia.
Sports Pub?
I love Sports Pub, man. Yeah, Sports Pub makes fantastic quesadillas.
That was my go-home dinner every night after DJing up there.
Yep, love the quesadillas, man.
I'm on the Great Minds train, though. I'm on with John and Jeff. And number 1 isn't just specifically like Jeff's. It's just dips. Guacamole, queso, salsa, buffalo chicken dip, spinach dip, French onion dip, street corn dip, 7-layer dip. Any kind of dip with a chip, I'm all for, because there's endless possibilities.
All right, there you go. Great stuff. I'm gonna bring a nice little some celery, some carrots up here next time, and have a little.
If you bring those, you better bring wings.
Out of the studio. You had problems for the last 3 weeks. Wait till you bring celery up here and see what starts going wrong.
Oh man, I love it here. All right, everybody. Hey, get my best bets tipped off here. Hey, I know, again, one of my plays was not good. Temple was not playing good. Penn State was in a tight one, man. Let's get Penn State through. Austin Peay was playing really well. Let's get Western Illinois tonight. Let's make some money. Austin Peay's up 8. Western Illinois hasn't tipped yet. Let's see the Penn State before we go off the air, everybody. Penn State, not good. They were winning good, and now they're down like 6. So that happens.
They're up 1.
Enjoy the game. Buddy. Penn State's up 1?
Penn State's up 1.
I have it down 7, so I don't know. Okay, one of us.
What score do you have? Maybe we're behind.
I got Penn State's down 61-56.
Oh, yeah, you're way behind. Penn State 67, Iowa 66.
Okay, I didn't update, I guess. I thought I did. Okay, good. Let's go Penn State. Hey, everybody, enjoy the big game. I mean, let's win some money. Enjoy the game. Enjoy it with friends. Be careful out there. Maddie, any final thoughts here, man? Great show. Good to be back. Good to see you. We're going to be back next week. We're going to start. We'll recap the game. We're diving. Man, we're getting close to March Madness, man. We're going to get some basketball people on. I'm already in touch with some people, so we're going to get them on, and we're going to crush it here. So,
just
any
last thoughts? Yeah, last thoughts. Anybody out there, just send us your best bets. I'd love to check them out. Who knows? Maybe I can be persuaded into it. And then, we're going to get into hoops. I need to find a new team to root for in March. I'm going to buy a t-shirt from Home Field because I don't think Syracuse is going to get there. So it's going to be a rough.
Georgetown's not.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough tournament for me. Syracuse has been there for a long, long time. I hope they can sneak in, maybe get a run going down the stretch. But as you know, buddy, nothing's ever given with my orange anymore.
No, it's tough. We're in a slide right now. So, hey, everybody, thank you so much for being in the chat. Thank you for watching us. Hey, give this to 5 of your friends, and let's expand this, man. We're having a blast here. John, thank you so much behind the glass. Did an unbelievable job tonight. Maddie, what do we always say?
Let's go Chiefs and bang your bookies.
Thanks for listening to the Notebook Wagering Podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any episodes, and be sure to follow @Notebook Wagering. Until next time.